place where Christmas dreams come true. The Kmart Toy Store, where the Turnip Seeds collection is on sale. Look for the Turnip Seeds telephone that gives sounds and messages, the cassette radio, which actually plays music, and SewMate, the sewing machine that seems like the real thing.
I got a feeling I'm going to get something really good this Christmas.
Taste all the ways butter helps your holidays. That time of year is here. Holiday baking deserves real butter. Make a cinnamon roll tree, sugar cookies, marzipan, and more. Bake ahead. Real butter's baked-in flavor improves with age. Taste all the ways butter helps you say happy holidays throughout the year.
There's more for your Christmas at Sears.
Save $20 on this Craftsman timing light, now just $29.99. This special purchase 1.5-ton floor jack is only $29.99. This exercise bike with speedometer, just $99.99. And this cassette car stereo with coaxial speakers is $99.99. So wrap up a beautiful Christmas.
There's more for your life at Sears.
So the boy fell asleep in the Toys R Us store. And he woke up with toys from the ceiling to the floor.
We've got the Nintendo action set, including the control deck with double game pack and Zapper light gun for just $99.99 at Toys R Us. And we have all the hottest game cartridges at great everyday low prices.
Love growing up with my Toys R Us kid. Toys R Us. You'll never outgrow us.
Monday, don't miss a Charlie Brown Christmas with all the Peanuts gang and everyone's favorite beagle, Snoopy.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Then it's up to a kindly clockmaker and some clever mice to make sure Santa comes to town on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Monday, right after Charlie Brown.
Wake up, toys, or you're gonna miss Christmas Eve with the Kodak disc. Someone got the family a Kodak disc. Just look at all the shots they're not gonna miss. There's never been a time that's better than this to give someone the Kodak disc.
Give someone the Kodak disc camera this Christmas, and if they don't think it's the easiest camera they've ever used, Kodak will give you your money back, money back.
So when you go out and shop, just remember to stop.
Shh, get someone the Kodak disc.
People always say it's the thought that counts. So JCPenney thought it would be nice if you could exchange any JCPenney gift at any one of our 1,400 stores without giving it a second thought.
Smarter than ever. JCPenney.
When you're out shopping for the best this busy holiday season, don't forget about McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. McNuggets come from only the best cuts of chicken, plump, tender breast, or juicy thigh. No wonder they're so good. McDonald's Chicken McNuggets.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
During this special time of year, don't forget to give the gift everyone loves to take back. A $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates.
Will Daddy like it?
Your daddy loves Old Spice.
I love the smell of my daddy.
This Christmas, give your men the clean, masculine scent of Old Spice.
I love the smell of Daddy. And so does Mommy.
Give him the gift he'll love, Old Spice.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Santa Claus.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
Dad, it still works.
There's no better gift than the sound of your voice.
Have a Merry Melodies Christmas on Bugs Bunny's Looney Christmas Tales. Then, it's an all-new holiday special, Santa Bear's High-Flying Adventure, 2 Christmas treats Thursday.
A Christmas gift from Radio Shack.
Before Christmas, they claimed they were bored. But then I found Radio Shack's incredible selection of electronic games. He's Rex doing the Fair Maiden with the Kingman game. She's exploring dangerous new worlds with Zackman. And with the Alien Chase game, he can do space battle with an opponent or by himself. There are more gifts if anyone's bored. I was!
Fascinating electronic games from $7.95 to $59.95, only at Radio Shack.
How
meet my special Disney friends. We're here. We're all here.
Now only at Hardee's when you buy any sandwich, fries, and Coca-Cola. Get a Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, or Uncle Scrooge stuffed toy for only $1.99. Collect all 5. A great gift value for kids of all ages.
It's all here at Hardee's.
The JCPenney last-minute sale.
'Tis the week before Christmas.
You haven't bought a thing. 10 cousins waiting. 9 presents missing.
Save on all better watches.
8 ideas lacking.
Women's robes at terrific prices.
7 boxes empty.
And Stafford Oxford dress shirts.
Why sale now too? So don't despair, we'll help you. We're open late, and everything you see is on sale. JCPenney.
What a beautiful Christmas this is going to be. With Timex Quartz, you have gift-giving ideas from the most elegant to the most athletic. Merry Christmas, everyone, from Timex.
Nabisco snack crackers have a terrific holiday present for you. Great savings on all these delicious Nabisco snack crackers in Canada Dry. So go to your store and look for your Nabisco snack crackers display. And while you're celebrating this holiday season, you can also be saving.
You're closing the store? I don't believe it.
Forget the store. With the family business gone and her marriage failing, hope arrives from her past.
You need to be home.
The journey back rekindles memories, and the near tragedy of her child brings the family together.
In the presence of love, there are miracles.
Join Lee Remick, Angela Lansbury, and Polly Holiday in The Gift of Love, A Christmas Story, tonight.
Sunday, it's George C. Scott in a brilliant adaptation of a Christmas classic, as magical spirits teach lessons of the heart to a miser named Scrooge.
Every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding.
And God bless us all, everyone.
A Christmas Carol.
Humbug.
This is CBS.
To learn more about the celebration of Christmas, the Library of Congress suggests these books: Celebrating Christmas Around the World by Herbert H. Wernicke, The Christmas Tree Book by Philip V. Snyder, and Guinness Book of Christmas, edited by Tom Hartman. These and many other informative books are waiting for you in your local library and bookstore. Visit them. They'll be happy to help you read more about it.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
Disc photography by Kodak. It's changing the way people take pictures.
Picture a brand new world.
The Kodak disc camera advances the film automatically, so you can get the pictures you may have missed before. And it knows when to flash, and can flash again in 1 1/3 seconds. All you do is push one button. The Kodak Disc 4000 camera. Bet you know someone who'd love one.
Picture a brand new world.
This year, give your gifts that extra touch. Duracell batteries. They make holiday fun last longer than regular carbon batteries.
You think of everything, even Duracell batteries. Oh, and Duracell, too. What a nice touch.
Wow, neat.
Try it out. I put in Duracell batteries. Duracell, the extra touch that makes holiday fun last longer.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, a story was written of action, adventure, and mystery. A story told and retold for generations. Now the story is here for you to discover and for you to pass on to others. Give the modern, easy-to-read Bible everyone can enjoy. Unwrap the true meaning of Christmas. Get the book and the book for children.
Woo! Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing all right this week so far. Got a small crowd today. That's good. It's more intimate. I can give some shout outs. Good citizens. Good to see you. Bookworm. Not that Nikki. Okay, not that Nikki. The other Nikki. Got it. Calamity Jade, welcome. Nancy Berry, Heather Donahue, Mickey 44, Pink Stripe. I'm a baffled. Joanne. And welcome, Joanne, as a member. Appreciate you. And you're a new sub and you're enjoying the channel. Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad you're enjoying the channel. Tom CPU, welcome, buddy. I'm actually going to be streaming a little bit of your content today. I hope that's okay. Make sure, guys. Tom CPU is a local there in Canton, and he's got a small channel, but he streams stuff in real time and is there on location for these events, which events I will be discussing. But big shout out to Tom CPU, man. Tom CPU is awesome. Jessica Neff, I haven't seen you in forever. Hello. KB all day. Oh, man. Tammy Holcomb. Hi. Tammy Holcomb always, it's like she's OCD about it. But like she's always the first one to leave a comment after the stream is over. She's always in chat. And even if she's not in chat, but like even if she's in chat, when the stream is over, she's the first one to leave a comment and writes, "Great stream. Hi, Will." And it's really sweet. So big shout out to Tammy Holcomb. I really appreciate you. That's really cool. Nicole, Kim Kusick, V. Kaser, first one to comment. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm sorry. Laura P. So y'all are gonna laugh at me, man, because I knew Turtle Boy had court today, and I woke up today and completely forgot. I was completely distracted by other stupidity, and I just could not wait to get my day together and go to the gym, go get a haircut, and just get shit done. And come back and stream. And mostly what was on my mind is exactly what the title is and the thumbnail, because this is still kind of about Turtle Boy today, even though I forgot he had court. But we're going to discuss his court date today. I couldn't have streamed it anyway because they weren't showing it. So, but I will share my thoughts on it, on what went down. I don't know exactly what went down, but I will be discussing what went down, because I'm going to stream someone else, and I believe there's audio, so we'll listen to the audio if I could get that. I think I can get that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Rassler's mom, I forgot about Turtle Boy Court today too. I was so damn busy, Frank. Welcome, Wrestler's Mom. So yeah, I totally forgot. And you know, and it's leg day, you know, so I guess I was really focused on like not talking myself out of it. And I don't know how many of you guys are active and like to work out, but yeah, leg day for few is enjoyable. And normally I actually love leg day, but I've been slacking on it, and I was like making sure I was not going to psych myself out of doing it, so I was just really focused on getting to the gym. Now what I do know is Turtle Boy Aiden Carney, aka his attorney filed a motion to get his tech back that they seized during this very unlawful search and seizure and violation of his First Amendment rights that they call an arrest with the 9 felony charges that he's facing. And again, those of you who know, I went over Turtle Boy's charges, and it took me 5 separate live streams to go over all those charges and basically disprove each and every single one of them. So this was mostly, I believe, what court was about today for Turtle Boy, and I believe he I don't think that they got their tech back. From what I understand, what happened is they didn't get their tech back, but they managed to be able to at least postpone the search of the tech. So supposedly the tech has not been searched since law enforcement has had it in custody. So the tech has not been searched, and apparently they've been able to, Turtle Boy and his attorney have been able to I guess suppress the search for at least an extended period of time. So let me see. Now I'm going to be playing something here. The channel, I believe, is called Unsafe Spaces. Maybe. Hold on. Let me. Or no, the channel is called David McGrath. And real quick, I'm going to drop this link in the chat. If you guys can just take a second and mosey on over there and give this video that I'm dropping the link to in chat, give it a like. That would be really, really great. If you can do that, I would really appreciate it. Each one of you guys, please, every single one of you that did not already like this video, please take a second, click on the link that I just dropped and give it a like. I'm not going to pin it because I'm going to post other links that I want you guys to be able to like as well and subscribe to. Now let me yes, please, Mama Bear, I would really appreciate it. It just takes a second. It just takes a second, folks. It's not that difficult. Just go over there and give Mr. McGrath a like. Got it? Good. So let's see what they got going on here real quick. Oh.
Hold on.
What did you see, Vanessa? You picking my nose? I shut the camera off for that.
Okay.
Turn right on Commercial Street.
All right.
Then
Now
turn
that
right
okay,
on
looks like these guys.
Right on Record Street.
Everybody's streaming you, Tom CPU. Street Squirrel, thank you. Welcome to Logic.
I am, but I'm not taking it over here. I'm just trying to ask a question. Okay. I guess I can't record his voice because it's a felony. You heard that, right? I tried to ask him a question. I just wanted to ask him a question. And he said, I'm recording his voice, so that's a felony. But I'm not in audio, I'm recording. Well, like channel 10. I don't understand how that...
Right. Let them know, Tom CPU. Let them know. Don't take their shit. I love it.
All right, that was a little messed up. Ken Mello said I broke the law, the legal recording, because I'm outside in public at the courthouse.
Yeah.
I just did a felony.
It's the courthouse, bro.
I just talked to Ken Mello. He said recording was a felony. Yeah, it's on video. It's right there. Ken Mello in the red truck. Yeah. I just tried to ask him a question.
Tom CPU's like, yeah, that dude right there, Ken Mello. That dude.
Yeah. Courthouse
It's the fucking courthouse. The fucking courthouse. The fuck? Fucking cocksuckers.
We're recording them. No, I'm dead serious. What's his name? Ken Mello. I don't understand that. I'm confused. I'm not smart. Aiden didn't go in yet, did he? I haven't seen him. Yeah. Time is it? 1:43. Plenty of time still. Yeah. I'm Boston Mike. Oh, I'm Tom. You know me, right? Boston Mike. Okay.
Boston Mike. Bro, it's so surreal. This is something I've never experienced before, folks. It's so surreal, like, to see these locals, like, actually, like, you know, see these people that I see in chat all the time. I see them in, like, Turtle Boys chat, and I see them in, like, the Young Jerks chat, and I see them in here, and just to, like, see them, like, in person, meeting up outside the courthouse in support of Turtle Boy. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Dude's like, yo, Boston Mike, what's up?
That's all. I can tell it from your soul. You're passionate. Yeah. You're more confident.
What do you mean Tom gets beat up?
So there's that. There's Ken Mello, the special prosecutor, lying to Tom DeRozier about recording him or his voice being a felony, and obviously we know that that's not to be true.
It's not true.
There's no expectation of privacy in public voice.
What the fuck are these people thinking, dude? Not these guys. These guys are cool. I'm talking about Ken Mello. What the fuck is this guy thinking? What the fuck are people like him thinking? You trying to, like, I mean, they're just tossing around the word felony and weaponizing it for their own benefit. I mean, what the fuck am I watching? Like, you can't just throw that shit around like that. Just be like, oh, that's a felony. You can't record my voice. Yes, I can, bro. You're out in public. I can absolutely do that. The fuck are you talking about?
Video, whatever it is. So he just lied, and Tom hilariously fought back with him a little bit, and then afterwards, here's Dubs. What up, Dubs?
Hey, my meeting got canceled. So
bro, don't they get it? This is what I don't get.
This meeting.
Don't these fuckers in Canton by now, the fucking the prosecutors, the cops, don't they fucking get it by now that these people aren't fucking stupid? That they know the law by now? Like, you think that these people would just risk their freedom, risk the safety of their personal safety and the safety of their loved ones if they didn't fucking brush up on what the fuck is illegal and what the fuck isn't? You know what I mean? Like, you don't think these people, after what happened to Turtle Boy, they're not gonna, like, they're not gonna brush up a little bit on what they can be arrested for and what they can't be arrested for? These people don't want charges. but they also don't want to be intimidated. They want to be able to speak up. Look, Tom CPU says, I'm a former police officer. I can't with these people. See what I'm saying? Like, they just assume. Bro, isn't everybody in fucking Massachusetts a fucking cop? Like, or at least related to one? I mean, dude, what are you trying to fucking pull? That blows my mind every time. Blows my mind.
Meeting kind of got canceled too because, you know, I talked to Stoughton District Court at around, I don't know, 11:45. They gave me the Zoom ID, said we will have video. About an hour later, I still couldn't get in. I called back. I said, hey, listen, I can't get into this Zoom meeting. It's telling me it's invalid. She's like, oh, try 15 minutes earlier. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, there's no way I'm going to get in 15 minutes earlier. And now you can't even get video. It's only audio and it's full. So we got nothing right now. Yeah. So
I mean, audio will do.
We're just watching Tom's
but
video. I don't know.
Still,
if you saw
it'd be
that.
better
You
to
did go
have
law
video.
School. I don't know if they taught
did.
you anything about expectations of privacy in public, but
Depends
Ken
on the
Mello,
situation. What's the situation?
he was just trying to interview him in his car before he went into the court appearance, and he said, "Oh, you're committing a felony. You can't record my voice." Yeah, he's fucking
Right, like, right.
Well, I mean, if you're in your car, you're on your property, but you're also out in public.
You also don't have to answer.
You don't have to
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
anything. No.
right. You just walk away, right? You just walk off, and
Yeah, I want to be, Jenny from the block. If you're new here, understand. I don't ever censor myself, dude. Like, I could give a shit about ad revenue in comparison to just expressing myself honestly. So, yeah, ad revenue means dick to me. I don't give a shit about it.
oh, it's definitely on purpose, Megan. Come on now. Of course it's on purpose. The whole thing's on fucking purpose. Yeah. So we're just kind of hanging out. Hopefully we can, hopefully, I mean, fuck, we created the stream and we're here. So yeah.
Shut up, Jerry.
NBC Boston doesn't have it. I'm literally scouring every website as we talk here, looking for anything.
Right.
I can't find it. Time. So many people,
I lost the code.
And try again, or call your conference leader for assistance.
Yep. Nope.
Who is my conference leader? Sleuthy, I keep trying. I have the Zoom app on my HP and I keep trying to get in. It's not working. It is not working.
The conference you are attending.
It's just full.
Full.
Melissa
we're gonna keep trying. We'll stay with you guys till about 2:30.
I don't know how to say your last name, but I feel you, man. Like it's
fucking
terrible
video.
that you guys are going
Guys,
through
do
this.
me a favor. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit subscribe.
Yeah, make sure to
That'd be great.
subscribe to this channel. I just dropped the link in
awesome.
chat, guys. So scroll up and subscribe to the channel that I'm streaming and hit the like on that video.
Apparently.
Please.
Yeah, he just texted me back. Bye, buddy. Yeah, and she a high, and that I. But yet here we are, still doing
Yeah,
this
subscribe to
thing.
David McGrath.
You know, because I'm trying to get back to this. I want to be able to get away with it in a split second. There's at least no
fucking
falling.
go. Let's go.
Like, let's fucking go. Right? Yeah, let's fucking go. There was no dude.
I like these guys.
I haven't sent it to you. I'll certainly.
Let's
send it to you if
fucking
you wanna
go. Move it.
I don't recommend it, honestly.
Get this shit together.
But, like, there's no sense of urgency. It's like I was calling in a fucking Domino's pizza order. You know, this is no sense of urgency. So
listen, I think everyone in here, especially you two, know so much more about this than I do. I kind of have my own opinion on it, and I'm just gonna let it play out and see what happens.
That's weird.
You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing. Thank you. This court is in session. You may
There we go.
Attorney, this matter is scheduled today for motion.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of Aiden Carney. Your Honor, this is my client, Aiden Carney.
Attorney, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kenneth Bell for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon. All right, so, defendant's emergency motion for protective order.
Yes, Judge, that would be me. And so I'm the moving party, if I may be heard, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, I know you're familiar with Mr. Carney as he's appeared before you before as a respondent in a criminal harassment hearing. That was brought, and that concerned journalistic activity in his capacity as a professional investigative journalist, Your Honor. And you denied that motion for reasons that were surrounding the First Amendment and that his activity was protected by the First Amendment and did not constitute criminal harassment. These charges before the court presently concern many of the same cited activities, Your Honor. We contend that all these activities are protected by the First Amendment. We contend that this prosecution is entirely a pretextual, unlawful attempt to silence Mr. Carney with the machinery of the state, Your Honor.
The machinery of the state, I love it.
This prosecution literally, Judge, as an excuse to seize his electronic devices. And that brings me to the motion that appears today for you, Your Honor.
Correct. This matter was before me on an individual's request for a harassment prevention order, a civil harassment prevention order. Did not have to do with criminal harassment whatsoever, just so the record's clear.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that distinction, Your Honor. So here, Judge, we contend that this prosecution is pretextual in violation of the First Amendment and simply an excuse to seize Mr. Carney's tools of his trade, his computers, his cell phones, the things that he uses and needs as a journalist that are just filled with a career's worth of journalistic activity, information from sources, all sorts of videos, compilations, research for ongoing stories, all sorts of things that directly implicate, Your Honor, privileged materials. And in this case, Judge, we're asking for two things before Your Honor here in the district court. Just to state the obvious, we're here on cases with district court jurisdiction. There's 9 matters that are squarely before this court. And in connection with those matters, Your Honor, the state police have, at the same time they arrested Mr. Carney on these matters, they executed search warrants for Mr. Carney's person, for his vehicle, and his home, minutes after he put his kids on the school bus. They took everything from his home that was remotely attached to any sort of electronic usage. They have his phones, his computers, etc. There's no issue whatsoever with respect to the authenticity of these devices or the source of the chain of custody of these devices. And we would certainly stipulate, and we don't even need to stipulate, that the evidence is that these devices were taken from his home. And there's no reason whatsoever for the government to be retaining these devices.
Bro, can we just take a second real quick and talk about how dope Aiden's attorney is? It's like, can we just take a second and appreciate like how fucking dope this dude is? Like, he's just spitting facts right now.
As I'm sure the court's familiar, Your Honor, the forensic investigators in these matters, they don't work with the phones or the computers. They take what's called a mirror image of the devices. They put it aside. The devices themselves are never touched again. They take the mirror images and they work from the mirror images. I've had many cases where my clients' phones, computers were returned the very next day, 2 days later, because the investigators simply don't need them. They acknowledge that. In most cases, for some reason, that's not happening here, Your Honor. In fact, I actually have a murder case in the Norfolk Superior Court with the very same investigators, Sergeant Buchanan, who sees in that case, he took my client's cell phone. He had it back to my client in 2 days. Because that's how they do it. They take a mirror image of the device, and then the device itself has no evidentiary value beyond.
Okay, so you understood what he just said, right? Aiden's attorney, Turtle Boy's attorney, just stated that he has another client that was charged by the same cops that charged Turtle Boy, right? Same cops. And they had his tech back. They seized his tech and they had it back to that client in 2 days. Why hasn't Turtle Boy gotten his tech back? Think about that for a second. I mean, what is it going to take for the skeptics to understand that these people, this system is trying to silence Turtle Boy? Simple. They're trying to silence him. This everything leads to this conclusion. How? What is it going to take? I mean, this is insane to me. And yet the judge still doesn't order them to give his tech back, which is crazy.
On the minimal notion that, they can raise it up in court, say, this is the device I took. And that's not an issue that is sufficient, Your Honor, to trump the First Amendment, to trump my client's rights to maintain his journalistic career and to protect a very large number of journalistic sources. And I'm going to give the court a little bit of background in terms of that, Judge. The posture of this case before Your Honor is unprecedented in this Commonwealth for a couple of reasons. First of all,
unprecedented.
Your Honor, all the activity that is just baldly cited in the charging documents herein in this court as criminal activity is nothing but time-honored, journalistic, hard-nosed, investigative activity, Your Honor. Going to people's houses, knocking on doors, putting a microphone in people's faces, asking pointed questions, showing up at sports events. These things have been done thousands of times. Never have they spawned a criminal prosecution. Here, Your Honor, they're just baldly stated as evidence of some sort of criminal activity. In this case, Your Honor, Mr. Carney has been investigating a case. I think it goes without saying at this point. It's the Karen Reed murder case in Norfolk Superior Court. The investigators on that case have come under scrutiny by Mr. Carney. He has exposed them in many ways, and the viewpoint of it, whether you believe it or not, is immaterial. He has exposed them. He contends, we contend, they have covered up the fact that the principal investigator has a long-standing relationship with many of the witnesses in the case and targets in the case that are suggested by the defense team in that case.
And there's proof of this, folks. There's proof of this, okay? I want to be very clear about that. There's proof of this, and we're going to go over that proof thanks to Microdots. Guys, like, if you guys are not subscribed to Microdots and you're following this case, you are missing out, okay? We're going to go over some of Microdots stuff because I am not going to rest until Microdots is known as an integral part of this movement to get justice for John O'Keefe and to get justice for Turtle Boy. I am not going to rest until that happens. This creator is too talented, and the way that they deliver information is too important to be ignored.
In any event, those very same investigators that have been on the receiving end of many embarrassing disclosures, potentially criminal disclosures, those very same investigators have the ones who are under scrutiny. This is unprecedented, Your Honor, that these very same people would go and initiate a prosecution for lawful activity as an excuse to steal those devices and look in those devices. And that's what brings us here, Your Honor.
Those devices.
This is very, very serious, Judge. that brings us to the preventive medicine case, Your Honor. The preventive medicine case was ignored by the prosecution here. As I know, I'm sure you read it. I know you have it. I know you read it. Judge, the preventive medicine case says that it puts a legal duty on the government in such a case to go to Superior Court. And
that must be why there's so little people in here right now. Because there's a select board meeting happening. Cherry, if you could find that for me, I'll go ahead and stream that. Because I'm interested in what the people have to say.
And say, Judge, we have a journalist, phones, computers. We have a case where someone has consulted with counsel. They may have communications from attorneys in the device. Here's our proposal, Judge. Here's our proposal of how we're going to protect those rights. And in this case, Judge, it was completely ignored. Mr. Carney, and this is in my motion, Judge, I'm not going to read my motion, of course, but it's referenced in my motion, and Mr. Carney swears as an affidavit at the end of the motion that he has, in his devices, he has consultations with attorneys.
Timmy Coates says, the sound is basura. I make better noises with my malangouche.
He's involved in 2 Superior Court cases and 1 District Court case before we even get to this case. He's consulted with attorneys, and this is all on his devices, about the very issues here. How far am I allowed to go with respect to, investigating people? Is this a crime? Is this okay? Is this not okay? All this stuff's in the phone. More importantly, Your Honor, on this very Karen Reed case, there may be information in these phones from police sources who've come forward bravely and exposed all these alleged lies in the Karen Reed case. Now, these same investigators investigating the Karen Reed case are trying to get his First Amendment protected sources from all these devices. This is unprecedented, Your Honor. The very same officers under scrutiny have used the machinery of the state criminal prosecution system to get evidence. That's why we need the court to get involved, Your Honor.
Actually, if the Young Jerks is streaming it right now, I'll wait. I won't stream it now. I don't want to take any views away from Young Jerks because they are always consistent with streaming those things. And I'll just wait until after it's done to go over it, either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow because I believe Turtle Boy's going live at 9. So I'll just stream the town meeting tomorrow in the event that there's anything very noteworthy. But in the meantime, I'll just I'm not going to stream the Young Jerks. Let the Young Jerks do what they always do. They always stream these town meetings. And I don't want to take any views away from them at all. Because they do really good work. They're a really great channel.
It's all in the preventive medicine case. If you just look at it, you'll see that they are required to go to Superior Court and present their plan for a taint team. Also, Judge, it's required under the case that the defense and the court are involved in the search. This is not something they can do to run an end around the First Amendment and to make an end run around the preventive medicine case, Your Honor. So that's the Superior Court aspect of this, Judge, is that they are the ones that have to, under the preventive medicine case, set up this the screening team. However, Your Honor, as the judge in a pending district court case with district court jurisdiction, we're asking you to take the first step, order the Commonwealth to not search these devices until preventive medicine is satisfied, number one. And number two, return Mr. Carney's tools of his trade, like in every other case where the data is taken out of the devices. These devices are sitting there in state police custody. And I think, talk about a smoking gun, Your Honor, that proves what I'm saying, that they just want to keep these devices to stop Mr. Carney from doing his job, to stop Mr. Carney from continuing to investigate on the Reed case. It's a smoking gun. They want to keep the devices. In this case, There's no good reason why they should keep these devices, Judge, when they return them in every other case, including, coincidentally, the very same investigators on cases that I have with them, they return the devices. So there's absolutely no excuse. It's outrageous. There's no reason why these investigators should be retaining these devices, Your Honor. They have everything they need from them. They can search them all they want when they comply with preventive medicine. There's no hindrance to their investigative activities, Your Honor. And Mr. Carney, on the opposite end of the spectrum, has every hindrance in doing his job, in looking, accessing all of his documents, all of his electronic files to investigate cases that he has ongoing.
I'm aware that the select board meeting is going on right now, and I really wouldn't blame any of you if you want to go there and watch it live right now. Again, like I'll go over it tomorrow, but in the meantime, right now, all I'm doing is I'm going over the court hearing, Turtle Boy's court hearing, and I'm going to go over some of the Microdots stuff. I'm not going to be mad at nobody if they want to watch the select board meeting. I don't blame you at all. But I'm just going to stay live in the meantime, just for the sake, because I set up the live and there are people here who want to watch. So, oh, and Rita's sick at this. Oh man. I was going to play something from Rita too, man. Rita's amazing. Rita's my personal hero right now. I'm not even going to lie. I think she's fantastic. But yeah, no, I'm not going to be mad at nobody for going over to the select board meeting. It's just bad timing. I set this up and here I am. So I'm just following through with this, not having knowledge that the select board meeting was happening tonight. So again, you can catch the replay. I'm still going to stream, and you can catch the replay later on if you want, or you can stay here if you want. That's cool too.
To continue to investigate the Reed case, where these devices are filled with sensitive data from the Reed case and his investigations in the Reed case, confidential private sources that must be protected, Your Honor. They must be protected. And to not let these officers get in there without a third-party team to screen these devices. Now, I know this isn't this court's ambit, but we're seeking a third-party screening team, not a team of assistant DAs. Because in this case, Judge, the Norfolk DA's office has conflicted themselves out of the case. So they can't do it. There ought to be a third-party special magistrate who runs a team of people who goes through this stuff. And preventive medicine requires that all these emails and everything be disclosed to us on an ongoing basis. So this is quite a process, Your Honor. This is not something that is going to be a couple of days. This is an ongoing court supervised search that is required by the SJC in preventive medicine, and the government has just completely ignored it. And if the government comes up here and says, "Well, we didn't know, Judge. We didn't know there was anything like that in these devices," well, they know now, Judge. You saw in my motion. Mr. Carney signed an affidavit in my motion, at the end of my motion, adopting everything I say in the motion relative to the contents of the devices, Your Honor. There's your factual assertions about how these devices have these things in them.
Nice.
So that's where that is. And that more than establishes the need for the preventive medicine protocol to be brought to bear. There's also one other thing that the government has tried to do an end run around, judges, and this, they can't say they didn't know this was in there. And that applies to journalistic sources, Your Honor. I believe it's on page 4 of my motion, where I talk about, in addition to potentially attorney-client privilege materials, the First Amendment requires that before a court orders divulging source and information gathered, that the court has to do a balancing test. And the court needs to consider the effect of compelled disclosure on the values underlying the First Amendment and our analogous Article 16 of our Declaration of Rights, Your Honor. So the state police and the district attorney's office are just plowing ahead, ignoring preventive medicine, ignoring the First Amendment requirements I just mentioned. And I hope that this court, I know that this court, and I also am confident in the Superior Court, that they will not allow the government to just profit from its either ignorance or willful disregard of the law and make them submit their own team plan as required by preventive medicine. And I hope that this court will allow Mr. Carney to get back to investigating and have access to his devices so that he can continue, and also, most importantly, Judge, protect the confidential First Amendment sources that Mr. Carney has been working with. Is the bread and butter of an investigative journalist. People have put themselves out there. People who have risked everything to give information in pursuit of the truth, in pursuit of justice. So I ask the court to allow my motion, return his devices. We will stipulate that the devices seized were in fact the devices that are seized from Mr. Carney's house, person, and car. And there's no issue in terms of saying those are not the devices or anything to that sort. So I appreciate the court's attention. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Brady.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may proceed by first suggesting to the court that I'm going to ask Your Honor to take no action on this motion. The matters have been presented to two Superior Court judges pertaining to Mr. Carney's activities. And in one instance, the Superior Court judge issued the warrant to seize the actual equipment itself. And the second, Judge Krupp in the Superior Court in Dedham issued the warrant to search the devices and further issued an impoundment order. So I'm at somewhat not at liberty to discuss the content of why we sought the impoundment order or the information sought in the warrant itself or in the affidavit in support of the warrant, Judge. But regardless, my brother speaks of Mr. Carney's privilege as a journalist. Mr. Carney identifies himself, Your Honor, alternatively as a journalist, as an activist, as an advocate, and he uses several other terms to identify himself.
Right.
We're not here, Judge, because of any legitimate journalistic activity on the part of Mr. Carney. None. We're looking at, strictly, Judge, crimes committed by this defendant, including the intimidation of witnesses.
That's
My
not
brother
true.
speaks of time-honored privilege or time-honored journalistic activities. Your Honor, there's nothing time-honored about running down the street with a bullhorn, screaming at.
See, this is what bugs me. Okay, this is what really fucking bugs me, dude. What's up, Pearl? This is what really fucking bugs me about this. Is this dude is saying that this whole hearing is about keeping, as far as the prosecution goes, their side of it is fighting to keep Turtle Boy's tech so that they can eventually search it, right? But every single charge, people, every single charge, every single detail of the charge, their probable cause for every charge in that document can be referenced. I referenced them myself. I don't need Turtle Boy's tech to verify whether or not those charges were bullshit or not. They specified incidents, and those incidents had at least all but one, those incidents had video titles and timestamps that are still up on YouTube. They haven't been taken down. They haven't been made private. They are still up on Turtle Boy's channel. So how in the fuck are they going to sit there and say that we need Turtle Boy's tech in order to prove these harassment charges? Makes no sense. Like, what do they think they're going to find in there? Like some secret thing that he decided not to post where he's breaking into somebody's house or getting in someone's face and threatening them, or I mean, I don't understand. Like, all the details can be referenced. And I referenced every single one of them. What do they think they're going to find in his tech? Makes no sense for them to hold on to his tech, especially if his attorney is sitting there saying, I have another client that had their tech taken away during an arrest, and 2 days later, he had his tech back. Why doesn't Turtle Boy have his tech back? Why doesn't he have the tools of his trade back? It doesn't make sense.
The state trooper who just left the court.
I'm glad you're here, Carrie H.
On it, Judge,
Thank
about
you.
An individual going to a local restaurant and telling passersby that they should not go in because there's blood in the pizza. That's what we have here. We have a number of it.
Like he's doing that shit verbally. Like you hear that? They should not go in because there's blood in the pizza. Bro, that's not what they mean, bro. Like nobody is fucking stupid enough to take that literally. What the fuck are you talking about, homie? Nobody's stupid enough to take that literally. Blood in the pizza merely is an implication that Chicken Palm Charlie murdered somebody, killed somebody. I don't know if he murdered him, but killed somebody and never had to actually pay the consequences for it. Therefore, there's blood on the hands of these pizza makers. That's what he means by that. There's blood in the pizza, folks. Don't eat that shit. That doesn't mean there's literally blood. Like they're fucking going to a blood bank, stealing the blood and then dumping it in and using it as sauce for the pizza. That's not what the fuck that means. And nobody's stupid enough to take that literally. Like, I mean, if I'm the judge, bro, listening to that shit, and I'm not a corrupt asshole, I'm drinking vodka in my, you know what I mean? Nobody's looking. I'm just sitting there going, fuck, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Blood in the pizza. Are you fucking kidding me? You expect me to believe that this dude literally meant that there was blood in the pizza? Like, there's no fucking way that if I'm the judge, I'm taking that shit seriously. It's incredible. Like, what do these fucking people think they're going to accomplish?
This is very similar to that. We've compiled those various episodes, if you will, for the court's benefit. Regardless, Massachusetts has not recognized a privilege, a journalistic privilege, even if the court wanted to look, at Mr. Carney in the most favorable light of actually being a journalist. There's no privilege. The Supreme
Really,
Court
Cherry?
in,
God damn it.
1985 was petitioned.
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
With a procedure of some type to deal with the privilege, journalistic privilege, and they declined to do so, preferring to utilize common law practices. What we have here, Judge, is also a case that I would suggest is not going to remain in this court for very much longer. I would represent to the court that grand jury proceedings are underway. So regardless, this is a matter that will ultimately not end here. What I would ask...
Oh my God, I got a chat full of fucking lushes. I got a chat full of vodka lushes, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
Your Honor, to do also with respect to the return of the equipment is to deny that motion. The equipment seized is evidence, and not having that equipment has not stopped Mr. Carney one single bit. He is blogging away on the internet on a variety of different sites, on a variety of different pages.
Okay.
On
It's his
Twitter,
job.
on YouTube, on a number of other
It's his job.
locations as well, from my understanding. And he's going at it several hours a day. He's generating hours worth of material. We have communications from other individuals, Judge, that suggest there are.
Is he seriously sitting there saying that we don't need to give his tech back? He doesn't need his tech because he's still streaming and still blogging? Like, no, his evidence is in there. His evidence is in there. And let's just fucking be honest here, folks. The only reason they want that tech is to find out who his sources are, to find out who the good cops are, grassing out the corrupt cops. That's what they want. That's it. Like, I mean, you could dress it up all you fucking want. You could dress it up all you fucking want, Mello. But the fact is that all you want is the tech so that you can identify the good cops from the corrupt ones. The ones that are absolutely, that are his anonymous sources, that he has a right to have anonymous sources, and his sources have the right to their anonymity. This is a bullying tactic, nothing else.
Items that I would best describe as confidential and on Mr. Carney's phone, not confidential, Mr. Carney. We're looking at leaked grand jury minutes and things of that nature, Judge. So there's a lot more than any allegation of attorney-client. If the Superior Court reviewing this determines that there could be privileged communications from specific attorneys that Mr. Carney identifies, the Commonwealth would certainly not be looking at that. That could be appropriate for a tainting. What I can tell you on it now is this: not all of the information has yet been mirrored. My brother made a call to me almost immediately, indicated that the defendant had concerns about the treatment and handling of this information, and with respect for any potential rights that the defendant may claim, and with respect to the judicial system, what I can tell you on it now is this: not all of the information has yet been mirrored. My brother made a call to me almost immediately, indicated that the defendant had concerns about the treatment and handling of this information, and with respect for any potential rights that the defendant may claim, and with respect to the judicial system, the state police and the investigators have not perused the material. It is in its pristine form, located on the defendant's devices. But then again, turning those devices back over to the defendant would allow him, if you will, to delete any information stored on them, and would allow for a challenge.
Is that how they talk? That's how they talk?
Whatever may be mirrored is not accurate.
Law, brother. That's weird. I've never heard that before. Okay. Thank you guys for clearing that up. Because I'm like, fuck. He's just going to tell the judge that his brother's like helping him work the case and giving him information on the defendant? The fuck does that mean? Okay, but his brother in the law, meaning the defendant's attorney, got it. Okay. Just checking.
Or was created elsewhere, or whatever the case may be, and having that equipment in the possession of the Commonwealth, as is evidence in almost every single case, Judge, that is the appropriate mechanism to employ here. I'm going to suggest respectfully that Your Honor refer this matter to the Superior Court for any further action.
Y'all are killing me in the chat right now.
The court take no action today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. May I just address, of course, briefly, some of the things counsel said? Judge, I don't think that the...
Ooh, you suck!
Just a sort of a
Mello, you suck!
Comment, Judge, we're going to take this to the grand jury, ought to stop this court in any way, shape, or form. These cases are all district court jurisdiction. The grand jury is doing its job. They're not going to indict him.
I'm sorry, bro.
There's no probable cause that he committed a criminal offense. So the fact that he may wish to bring the case before a
Sherry's
grand
my
jury
brother in
has
YouTube.
nothing to do with what's the business at hand here, Your Honor. If they want to do that, that's perfectly fine.
Sherry's my brother in
But
chat.
right now, we have a job to do in this court, all of us. And our job is to defend Mr. Carney's rights. And the court's job, of course, is to make the decision. And we ask that, you put an end to this game of keep away. Let him have his devices back, Your Honor. Let him get back to it.
They want the
And
sauces.
Please enter an order unequivocally declaring that these sources are off limits to these investigators until the Superior Court has addressed these matters, Judge.
Were you advised by the government that they hadn't started the search? There's been no search done?
Yes, Judge. To the government's credit, I reached out to Mr. Mello and said, I want to have a taint team hearing, and the government agreed to wait until this hearing. So I think that agreement expires as of this hearing. And, I appreciate the agreement, but of course, we need a court order on the issue. We're very earnestly asking the court to enter an order on the docket to that effect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I may simply say in response, Your Honor indicates that this matter is being referred to the Superior Court, which Commonwealth would argue is the proper form because even under the cases my brother references, preventive medicine requires action by a Superior Court judge. We would not investigate. We would honor our commitment to further not investigate this matter is determined by the Superior Court.
All right, so a couple
Oh my God, I don't care!
They issued in early October. They were returned, I believe, October 12th. The defendant's motion was filed November 20th, some 5 weeks later as an emergency motion. One could have assumed that the government might have been well into the review, but I understand that hasn't occurred. It seems at least if there was an exigent circumstance, if there was one, it was back when this occurred, back in October, not now, under the guise of an emergency motion. To your point, Mr. Brado, there was an affidavit. I don't find that it was a meaningful supporting affidavit. With your motion, it was rather generalities of categories that the defendant claims or purported privilege to. Search warrant 23 SW071 was narrowly tailored in the court's estimation to at least 8 categories of information sought by the government, none of which included the things you referenced: attorney-client information, medical records, journalistic sources. I suspect that any information that is recovered pursuant to that would be the subject of a motion to suppress at some appropriate time in the future. I'll get to you in just a moment. Lastly, your motion, as you both agree on, makes reference to an eventual Superior Court.
Is that true? Did I miss that?
Procedure for review and handling any of these purportedly privileged materials. I don't read preventive medicine, I think, as mandating a taint team review as it did in that case, where it involved a post-indictment search. I think the footnote in that case is it could involve a situation where someone's been charged but not yet indicted. But I believe because of that footnote and that the court alluding to, this should be properly based on the Superior Court. I think the defendant should address that issue before the Superior Court. I'll hear you if you had something to add.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Superior Court reference, Judge, in preventive medicine is for that is only a Superior Court judge can order the tainting. But I think all the rest of it is really properly before this court in terms of seeking return of his devices and to make a preliminary order, Your Honor, that the investigators not enter the phones or any of the devices or computers until that process is accomplished or addressed.
All right, anything further from either?
Judge, there's actually one other thing. I'm sorry. This is just like hot off the presses, as they say, Judge. With respect to a case in which Mr. Carney is a victim in the West Roxbury District Court, the defense counsel in that case is seeking some raw video of that alleged assault battery that is in the devices that are in the possession of the Mass State Police. And I believe there was an order entered, and I need to get confirmation of this in writing. But it's my understanding that there was an order issued by the West Roxbury judge saying that Mr. Carney's devices were to be preserved by the state police and that those videos should be turned over to the defense counsel in that West Roxbury case. So that sort of indicates a whole other aspect, Judge, of these devices, that Mr. Carney is involved in these 3 other cases where he needs things from the devices to comply with, in this West Roxbury case, to comply with an order from that case, but also that he has ongoing litigation with 2 other matters.
Yes, Electra. Sorry for the interruption, folks. Electra, I did put up a community post to let the community know about Selena. And yeah, for those of you who remember Selena and interacted with her in chat, we lost her on Thanksgiving due to a, from what I understand to be a cardiac arrest or complications from a cardiac arrest. And it's very sad because she was a very active member of the chat and many other chats, and just a very very sweet member of the community. So it's very sad that we lost her. And if you were close to her in chat and interacted with her a lot, there is a stream in honor of her on AKA Shorty's channel. So
where he communicates with his attorneys in those matters, and he needs access to the devices to continue to litigate those cases. So there's all sorts of things, Judge, that are in these devices, and I appreciate the court's comment that the investigators are trying to narrowly tailor their search, but that doesn't prevent the idea that they will come across even accidentally, and that's right in preventive medicine, to avoid the irreparable harm of even an accidental discovery of privileged information, of journalistic sources. All this is privileged information, Your Honor, and that's all stated.
Right. To put it simply, Turtle Boy's attorney is arguing the fact that, okay, they don't have a problem with them finding out evidence, looking for evidence as far as things that that could prove harassment and intimidation of witnesses. Sure. But what they're concerned about is what they're calling preventive medicine. And what they're concerned about is of them accidentally coming across sources, anonymous sources, sources whose anonymity should be protected, and this could put people in danger. So that's what they're concerned about.
My motion that I did that on purpose to keep the categories general, because Mr. Carney should not have to disclose what's in the phone to stop the investigators from discovering what's in the phone. So that's why I intentionally made those categories very general and vague, Your Honor, is because we're trying to preserve his privacy here, in the sense that he's been a journalist for years. He's an investigative journalist. It's readily apparent from any look at his work that he investigates serious matters of public concern that are driven by confidential sources, and even police sources who address him and give him information. So that's why we made it very general. So I don't want you to think that was sort of just because we're just in a rush or something. It's on purpose that I think it needs to be general. And so the affidavit at the end by Mr. Carney adopts the things that I say factually in the motion, and the things come from him, not from me, and they are kept vague as a necessity. So even though they're narrowly tailoring things, they're still going to look through the entire device, and it's still susceptible to being information that they shouldn't have. So I just wanted to address that, Your Honor. I appreciate your comment. Of course,
Your Honor, I would agree with my brother in his remarks that some of these sources are police sources. As a matter of fact, one of those police sources is the reason we have a conspiracy charge now pending against the defendant. And
that's dirty.
Charges of conspiracy filed.
That's dirty. So what he's saying now is, yes, we're aware that because one of his charges is a conspiracy charge, and he's talking about the dispatcher that ran the license plates for Turtle Boy in order to identify the fact that Jen McCabe's car, her vehicle, was at Michael Proctor's home, the lead detective in the John O'Keefe murder case. So that's a dirty little trick that he's trying to pull. Well, yeah, we know that some of his sources are police officers. And then he's like, yeah, we're trying to prosecute. So they're trying to use that charge, that conspiracy charge, as I guess an excuse, a justification for identifying other police officers that may be providing him with inside information, which I think is fucked up, super fucked up. It's a dirty trick.
we have
which
honored
would
it.
explain the conspiracy charge. So right there, that just convinces me that the purpose of the conspiracy charge was not to get justice in any way, shape, or form. It was not to protect witnesses. It wasn't anything like that. It was a way to use as leverage to be able to have an excuse to search and identify other sources that are within the police department that could incriminate police officers who may or may not have been involved in an absolute cover-up in the John O'Keefe case.
The Commonwealth has honored its commitment, and it was by way of a telephone call between Mr. Brattle and I to not go into these devices until there was some adjudication by the court. That would not end today if Your Honor would adopt the Commonwealth's request and submit this to the Superior Court. We would not, I would direct the state police not touch the devices any further, provided that the defendant files within perhaps 1 week within the Superior Court, and if that filing is made, then we would certainly await the Superior Court's decision on that. But there is a lengthy affidavit that has been reviewed by a Superior Court judge, and the order issued as it was.
Judge, I appreciate that, but preventive medicine puts a legal duty on the government to address that with the Superior Court. So I'd ask that be followed.
Seems the two of you have made a lot of agreements along the way so far. So here's what I am going to do. I am respectfully going to deny your emergency motion for protective order today. Hopefully you can work together to seek redress at the Superior Court at your earliest convenience. And maybe you keep the agreement together that the search will not begin, at least until that happens. So I'll leave it to you to get that scheduled, but thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bullshit.
A leader has
Well, all right.
disconnected this conference.
How much better of an argument could his lawyer have made? I don't think much better.
It was really well done. Really, really well done. He was certainly better spoken today than we've seen him before, but I think he's
I thought
yeah, I think he did a good
I
job.
thought he crushed it. How about this? I gotta go pick my son up from school. Why don't we discuss this on a live show tonight or tomorrow? And wow, again, the corruption runs deep, and
yep,
I think TB's lawyer did an awesome job, and he crushed it. He went hard today, and the arguments are all sound and they're all great, but man, that's something.
It's not over yet.
So
Nobody- don't get down.
No,
it's not over yet.
No,
I want to clear up
It's
this
nowhere close to
brother
over,
thing though, because I'm seeing a lot of like, stop saying brother. It's antiquated, but some of the
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Okay, now this is Tom CPU, folks. The link that I'm sharing is the link to the stream that I'm playing right now. But make sure to subscribe to Tom CPU as well, please. Subscribe to Tom CPU and give this video a like that I'm going to play real quick. These are the comments from Turtle Boy's attorney and Turtle Boy after the stream or after the court hearing.
Joke. Absolute joke. Here he comes.
Hi, guys. So everything's status quo. The agreement to not search the devices is still in place. I think that's why the judge ultimately didn't want to get involved, because they know that the government knows that if they do search the devices, the information is potentially suppressible, could be thrown out of court. So they've agreed to continue to not search the devices until we get to Superior Court next week, which that was an expected result. We're disappointed that the judge didn't allow Mr. Carney access to his devices, but it's an ongoing process, and we'll have more on that, more to come on that. So thank you very much.
All right. So tune in tonight, 9 o'clock. I think one of the reasons that they want access to my devices is, you heard them in there, they want to see who my sources are. They want to see who's sending me information, because they want to retaliate against them. The same corrupt cops who I have been exposing for several months now are now trying to hold on to my devices so that they can go through it and find out who has been telling the truth about their criminal behavior. And we saw it today with the release of a previously unseen, I believe it was on a YouTube channel called The Glare, a previously unseen video of a 911 call that makes Jennifer McCabe look.
What? Thanks for the shout out, homie. Hell yeah. That was nice of him.
Extremely suspicious, and not the least bit surprised when she finds the body of John O'Keefe, whereas Karen Reed looks completely innocent. And is that sort of information that they are hoping to suppress and keep from the public, and they don't like that I'm reporting it, which is why I've been charged with 9 felonies.
Facts.
But I'm not going to stop reporting the truth. I'm going to keep going. They could take away my devices. They could take away my computer, but they can't silence us forever, and we're just going to keep doing this. So thank you, everyone, for coming, and tune in at 9 o'clock tonight to listen to that tape. So thank you, everyone.
Based on everything that happened today, how do you feel the case is going so far?
Oh, it seemed like today was just kind of can was kicked down the road to the next court. Obviously, I would have liked to leave here with my cell phone devices, but a judge in West Roxbury has actually ordered them to be handed over to the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office. So I knew going into today that I would not be able to get them anyway. Regardless, I will get them back eventually, and they are not going to look through them. So I guess in a way we're kind of right where we started prior to today.
Not jeopardizing your status, what happens from here for you?
Right. Well, we have a pretrial hearing next week in this courthouse, and then we will be filing a motion, I guess, to get the phones back in Superior Court, which the judge today determined was the proper venue for that. So we'll see what happens. Staying optimistic.
All right.
So thank you. All right. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it.
Good job, Aiden.
Yeah,
Good job, Aiden.
appreciate it.
We ain't got no quit.
Ain't got no quit. We ain't got no quit.
Ain't got no quit.
I like to leave my phone, but I don't think they have me right now.
We'll get them soon enough. Yep. All right, guys. That was that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Guy just wants his phones and his computer back just to do his work, and they won't let him. Then they're gonna hold on to him. That's just ridiculous.
I don't I want to be clear though. I do not deserve credit for that. I have a couple of things to say about that. I don't deserve credit for that. The people of Canton, the concerned people, absolutely deserve credit for that. This is one of those examples where I count on my chat to help me and to help me provide you guys with accurate information. I had help from numerous people, numerous just supporters who sent me different clips, some of them a little louder than the others so that they could be understood a little bit better. So I do not deserve credit for that. People were resourceful and they provided me with this stuff, and I was happy to share it and go over it. And I know and honestly, I got a little bit of some criticism for playing it due to the fact that it's very triggering hearing Karen Reed in that state. But what I have to say about that is I feel it was necessary. I feel it was absolutely necessary. so that people can understand and get a perspective of what the mindset seemed to be between Jennifer McCabe making the phone call, the things that were said by Carrie, the things that were said by and the distraught that was being expressed by Karen Reed, the genuine distraught that she was expressing, the genuine shock that she was experiencing. Again, it was not easy to listen to, but at the same time, I believe it to be necessary for that recording to be very public. And so for those who criticize me for it, you have a right to your feelings about it, but I stand by my feelings about it, which are that it was necessary for those who are trying to understand this case and trying to determine for themselves what they believe, whether or not Karen Reed is innocent or guilty. And of course, that's not proof of her innocence or her guilt, but it's definitely very telling that Jennifer McCabe was incredibly cold. And it just simply didn't sound like your regular 911 call. There were a lot of things about that raised some red flags, and those red flags need to be discussed. And I find it interesting that the people who are dead set of Karen Reed's guilt only found it necessary to play 18 seconds of that recording. Why only 18 seconds of that recording? Why not go over the whole thing? I mean, if you're so convinced of her guilt, why wouldn't you play that whole thing and expose that entire recording? Doesn't make sense. So no, I have absolutely no regrets for sharing that recording at all whatsoever. And I would do it again, without a doubt, without hesitation. Now, real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over one of Microdot's latest videos. I'm going to start with the one that I haven't seen yet, because I like to do reactions. And there was one that I watched and I shared the video, but the latest one I'm going to share here, because again, like I said, I like to do reactions. So I'm going to drop the link to this video in the chat. Please make sure to mosey on over and give it a like. I think that what Microdots is doing is incredibly important and incredibly informative. It's not often that I would do, basically, I would feature someone here and talk them up as much as I am if I did not absolutely believe in the importance of what they're doing. So go ahead and click on the link that I just dropped and give that video a like. And then and make sure to subscribe to Microdots as well, please.
All I heard was I shot firecrackers. And then I heard screaming.
Like reported shots fired in the area of 10 Alfred Rail. Possible active shooter.
Now, I'm not sure if this is related to the Karen. If it's not related to the Karen Reed case and John O'Keefe case, then I'm going to play another one. And I'll play this on another time, because I want to be able to end this, because I'm going to stop this and give commentary here and there. So actually, let me just go over the other video. Oh, no, this is related to the Karen Reed case. Okay.
detectives some grip.
Got 2 male victims, gunshot wounds.
It was a brazen attack directly in front of the victim's Braintree home. You can see the gray sedan with its back window blown out. Neighbors say this all happened around 1:30 Sunday morning.
Still unclear what led up to the deadly shooting on Alfred Road here in Braintree, but police say they found several shell casings in the neighborhood.
Since Sunday's shooting, there has been a large police presence in and around this neighborhood.
On Sunday, Alfred Road was swarming with police detectives, some gripping evidence bags.
They're also asking neighbors for any surveillance video around the time of the shooting
to see if they caught the suspects coming or going.
And they're hoping the community can help crack this case.
If they could check their cameras, especially in the Common Street area, would be most helpful. We're looking for help and assistance.
Police say there is no threat to the public. They continue investigating the fatal shooting.
Bro, I love how dramatic it is, dude. And the link to this video I'm dropping in chat, so make sure to give this video a like, please. Yeah, Gregor Smith, I dig the synthesizer too, man. Like that's my dirty little secret is I love like synth pop.
Under 10 miles away from 34 Fairview Road, on July 23rd, 2023 at approximately 1:30 a.m., Braintree police responded to multiple 911 calls, reporting shots fired in the area of 10 Alfred Road. Upon arriving at the scene, officers discovered 2 males in a parked car who had sustained gunshot wounds just seconds earlier. Ambulance services arrived to render aid to the victims. Both were then transported to South Shore Hospital in Weymouth, where they would later be pronounced dead.
Wow.
After the victims were removed from the scene, the Braintree Police Department, recognized for its competence, strong reputation, and scandal-free record, promptly initiated their investigation. Step 1 was to create a physical perimeter to restrict access and preserve the integrity of the crime scene. The road was immediately closed to all traffic. Yellow tape was deployed to cordon off a significantly large area that stretched across the street and onto the neighboring properties. Limiting access helps prevent the contamination, loss, or alteration of evidence, ensuring that all collected items are properly documented and preserved in a manner that establishes and maintains the chain of custody.
I see where this is going.
If the chain of custody is broken, it can have significant implications for the admissibility and credibility of the evidence in a legal proceeding. Regardless of how powerful any single piece of evidence may seem, if not collected, mapped, and imaged according to strict forensic protocol, it can easily be rendered worthless. The Braintree Police Department proceeded to initiate the investigation with great enthusiasm and determination. As the first officers to respond, they were responsible for marking the location of evidence and ensuring its preservation until the state police specialized crime scene investigators arrived. Braintree officers wasted no time in questioning the individuals present inside 10
Right.
Alfred Road.
Exactly, baloney.
They know that when a murder occurs
baloney.
outside the home, the people...
As simple as that is, yo, I got to tell you, baloney, you absolutely win handle of the day. All right, let's continue here.
People inside very likely were involved or can provide valuable, timely information. Braintree police officers then began canvassing the area, knocking on neighbors' doors and taking witness statements.
It's interesting.
By 3 a.m., the Mass State Police Specialized Search Unit arrived to take over the investigation. They worked tirelessly throughout the night into morning, thoroughly processing the scene. As day was breaking, state police detectives expanded the search area, more than doubling the total square meters to be searched by including 2 additional zones. The MSP then proceeded to methodically gather evidence.
Okay, now, yeah, this is the state police, folks. I mean, this is interesting because this clearly the point here is that this investigation is being conducted thoroughly and the way that you're supposed to conduct it versus the way the John O'Keefe case was conducted. So that's fascinating. Yeah, it's Proctor and Bukkake. Right. So they clearly know how to work an investigation. They clearly know how to do that. They know how to log evidence. They know how to collect evidence, log evidence. They know the chain of custody of evidence. They understand all these procedures. And yet, why are they not practicing these things in the John O'Keefe, Karen Reed case? So what the hell?
In a manner that could be likened to hosting a masterclass in forensic collection for all to see. The team captured numerous photographs, meticulously documenting the precise position and physical state of each piece of evidence. State Police Detective Yuri Bukenik and his partner, Detective Michael Proctor, oversaw the operation with a high level of professionalism and competence. Mayor Charles Kokoros visited the scene, addressing the media. He called the shooting a very...
Well, this is the thing, this is what's so important about what Microdots is exposing here. What Microdots is exposing here, folks, is it's not negligence. I mean, it's not incompetence. I mean, incompetence would imply that they don't know procedure, that they don't understand procedure, right? But here they are in a completely different case, and they're handling this investigation to a T, the way you're supposed to, the way that we criticize that they did not handle the John O'Keefe case, the murder of a police officer, which is fascinating. So this absolutely implies and indicates that there is reason to suspect corruption. Of course, there's reason to suspect corruption here. I mean, it's clear.
A very bad tragedy, and said he is working with the Braintree High School superintendent to make grief counselors available to classmates of the victim. District Attorney Michael W. Morrissey came in support as well.
Wow.
Later appearing in front of the media, urging local residents to check their home security cameras to assist police in catching the killers. The Braintree Police, Mass State Police, and District Attorney's Office demonstrated their effectiveness to the public when resolute in their determination to investigate a crime. technically the ending, but we started late. Let's go back and start at the beginning.
Bro, look at this guy. This guy's got a set of titties for a chin. What the fuck?
Except this time,
I'm
there's
going
no
to hell.
public plea for help from Michael Morrissey. No local officials offering support or instead of the exact locations of evidence, the defense received this.
She failed her proficiency exam. She's not even qualified.
Stay away from the house. The house is off limits.
Desperately withheld from the defense for 21 months.
The search is delayed.
Just a wee bit further.
I love this guy. Just a wee bit further.
Report of an unresponsive male found in the snow at 34 Fairview. 10-4.
This is the part where we should be showing you news footage of reporters broadcasting live on scene, standing in front of 34 Fairview Road, Canton. Exactly like we saw earlier from 10 Alfred Road.
A suspected getaway car connected to this crime. Live in Braintree outside WCBB.
However, that won't be possible, and the reason is, no such footage exists. There isn't one news outlet on location covering the suspicious death of a Boston police officer. If your initial instinct is to fault the storm, bear in mind that these two WCVB reporters have never been deterred by snow in the past. Here we have the singular clip to have aired on television, unveiling a crime scene reminiscent of the Arctic, bathed in the uneven glow of vehicle headlights, and noticeably lacking the usual yellow crime scene tape. A measure that should have been taken early that morning by Canton officers, but was not. And then, there's this.
At the family home of Karen Reed tonight, no comment. Anything you would like to say to the officer's family?
Remember, this is taking place just hours after Karen Reed suffered the tragic loss of her boyfriend. And as far as the state was concerned, under accidental circumstances. And why is it only illegal to knock on doors when this man does it?
Right.
But let's get back to the Canton public.
We're going to do everything we can with our
Charge that news reporter with harassment.
To commit to doing everything we can to find a resolution to this.
With intimidation.
Justice.
Now, this is the level of determination John O'Keefe deserved, and the public rightfully expected from the Canton police. Yet it's not a Canton officer delivering this message. These words are from Timothy Cahoon, Deputy Chief of Braintree Police, addressing the media regarding the investigation at 10 Alfred Road. Cahoon stands as a prime exemplar of an excellent police officer, deserving the trust and support of the public. It's no wonder he was appointed chief 2 days after making this statement. In contrast, the Canton police have maintained a conspicuous silence when it comes to the investigation into John O'Keefe's murder. There is, however, one exception. David Yannetti provides further details.
Canton Police Chief Rafferty was allowed to publicly state that the facts revealed by the defense were just, quote, sensational accounts.
See the word sensational there?
I used the word sensational.
Sensational. This police chief decides that she is going to put out a statement. One of the Alberts is her boss. She is the boss of another Albert.
And they really should just trust the prosecution.
Just trust the prosecution. In order to trust the prosecution,
You have to trust Michael Proctor. And I question, how on earth can anyone trust Michael Proctor? I've previously referred to him as being conflicted, which is certainly true, but it actually does not go far enough to describe what he has done in this case just by taking the case. The more appropriate word to describe him is corrupt. Only a corrupt state
There you
trooper
go.
would agree to investigate a murder case in which a body was found in the yard of a family friend.
Yep.
Only a corrupt state trooper would keep his ties to that family friend.
Mira esa
Only a
cara.
corrupt state trooper would refuse to go inside the home, which featured the body of a dead police officer on its lawn. Only a corrupt state trooper would write in his report that a street had not been plowed when it had. It was the corrupt Michael Proctor who took custody of John O'Keefe's clothing, and that clothing was not submitted to the lab until several weeks after Michael Proctor seized it. Michael Proctor's mother has described the Albert family as the Proctor's second family. Michael Proctor told witnesses who showed up to testify before the grand jury that Brian Albert is the salt of the earth. Michael Proctor's wife has posted about how much
Wow.
they love Colin Albert. The Proctors have constantly been photographed with the Alberts going back over a decade. We've shown that Michael Proctor's in a wedding party with Colin Albert. Colin Albert was the ring bearer at Michael Proctor's sister's wedding.
Dude.
It's so clear that Michael Proctor was both conflicted and corrupt.
Like right there, that shit should have been thrown the fuck out. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really know how, you know, court proceedings actually work, you know, necessarily. I really don't. I'm not an attorney, never been a court officer in any way, under any capacity whatsoever. But I mean, if you're presenting this evidence, you're saying, dude, there's tons of pictures. This guy clearly lied about his association with the McCabe's. He clearly lied about it. How is that not corruption? And then, like, I mean, here's the photographs. Look, just recently, Turtle Boy went over a wedding video showing them sitting at the same table. Dude, you only sit at the same table at a wedding if you guys are like this, son. If you guys are tight. That's the only way.
Attorney Elizabeth Little.
If you were to review all of the police reports in this case, as we've done, then you might mistakenly believe that there were only 2 searches of the lawn of 34 Fairview Road that resulted in the recovery of taillight pieces. Those searches were on January 29th at 5:45 p.m. by the CERT team, and there was a second search on February 3rd, 2022. But those reports are not complete because according to photographs of the evidence bags in this case, which we just received on July 25th, Trooper Proctor claims to have actually recovered taillight pieces over the course of 5 additional undocumented searches of the Albert residence throughout the month of February. The only reason we even know about these searches is because when Trooper Proctor logged these pieces into evidence, he had to write his name, the date, and the place those pieces of taillight were supposedly found, 34 Fairview. That's 5 undocumented searches, Your Honor. We don't have a police report for any of those. No notes,
Wow.
no reports, no photographs
Dude.
of where those taillight pieces were found in the yard. No memorialization of the individuals who called Trooper Proctor to the scene. That is not acceptable. If this information exists, we're entitled to it. We need a short compliance date for the production of these notes and reports so that we can at least attempt to prevent further fabrication of evidence. That is deception.
Now, need I remind you, folks? Need I remind you? According to Ryan Nagel's statement, he saw Karen Reed's SUV parked, foot on the brake, rear lights all illuminated. Car did not appear to be damaged. Karen Reed was alone in the car, in the SUV. Now, if John O'Keefe was laying in the snow at this time and she hit him, then the tail light would have been broken. But according to Ryan Nagel, this tail light was perfectly intact. He didn't know anything about a tail light going on or what was said. But in his official statement, he states that the tail light was perfectly intact. That means that John O'Keefe had to have been inside 34 Fairview Road. He had to have been inside that house. There's no other explanation. There's no other explanation. If she broke her tail light from hitting John O'Keefe, running him over, and he was not in that car, he would have had to have been laying in the snow, and that tail light would have had to have been broken. If he was not in the SUV, he had to have either been lying in the snow or inside the house. And since the tail light was not broken, and they're saying that the tail light broke because she hit John O'Keefe with the rear of her car, well, that would mean that he would have had to have been laying in the snow. That would have mean that she would have had to have hit him. That would have mean, but the tail light was intact. The tail light was absolutely intact, according to Ryan Nagel. Therefore, he had to have been inside that house.
Bunches and bunches, punches is thrown into your frontlets. Oodles and noodles, bang bullets at suckers' noodles. Last album voodoo, prove that we was fucking brutal.
Okay. I'm probably going to get a copyright claim on that. But let's I'm going to try to rush through the other video as best as I can, because I do not want I want to be able to finish this up by 9 o'clock to at least catch Turtle Boys live. Especially since he was so nice to give me a shout out. I definitely don't want to be a dick and overlap over his live stream. Yeah, let's go over this other video by Microdots. And I'm going to drop the link in chat. Make sure to just click on it real quick and give it a like, please. And if you're not subscribed to Microdots, make sure to subscribe. The link to the Microdots channel is in the description. That is a fact. So if you're catching the replay, and anything happens to the chat, at least in the description, there is the link to Microdots' channel in the description. So make sure to click on that and subscribe. But the link that I just dropped is for the video that I'm about to be playing right now. And I want you guys to make sure to give it a like, please.
We have a breaking news update. Blogger Aidan Kearney has made his first court appearance after being arrested on charges of witness intimidation.
He calls himself Turtle Boy, and he's trying to prove that the woman charged with her boyfriend's murder is innocent.
Kearney has been writing for months about the case and recording himself while confronting witnesses.
Prosecutors say he used his online platform to harass witnesses.
Now he's defending himself.
He's defiant and He calls himself a victim.
He went too far, intimidating witnesses in the case.
People, if you like these videos, man, if you like these videos, make sure to share them too, man. Like, share Microdots. Any social media platform that you belong to that discusses any discussion group, anything that involves the Karen Reed John O'Keefe case, and you are passionate about spreading information about this case, make sure to spread the information on Microdots. Please do so. I'm talking on your Facebook, I'm talking on your Twitter. Just blast this shit if you're passionate about this case, because this is so well done. The information collected and put out here by this or these creators is absolutely brilliant. So do everything you can to support this channel, please.
A judge released him on personal recognizance and ordered him to stay away from the people he's accused of harassing. If he violates that condition,
either directly or indirectly,
he would be put in jail.
What he's doing and what other podcasts are doing are giving voice to those that need a voice.
There you go.
Not a crime.
There you go.
You've got someone who is saying there's a police conspiracy, and then he gets arrested.
Oh, look who it is.
Witness intimidation. It's kind of unusual.
Yeah, I mean, I never think about that stuff, Patty Murphy. I feel that, but I never think about that stuff, Patty Murphy. I just, you know, I focus just on the content as best as I can.
I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
The case that was so huge just got even bigger.
Again, make sure to give the video I'm playing a like, guys. Here's the link to it. Yeah, the music is fantastic. Like, everything about this video is fantastic. Everything about this channel is great. Oh, yeah. Krusty finally blocked me, Gregor Smith. Can you believe it?
I have the yellow target.
Coffindoffer finally blocked me. Took forever.
We're doing a slow roll. As soon as he puts the kids on, we'll jump on him.
Look at how they did Turtle Boy, man. Look at how these cops did Turtle Boy.
Tougher.
On October 11th, 2023, Norfolk District Attorney Michael W. Morrissey shocked the region by ordering his harshest critic, outspoken journalist Aidan Carney, widely known as Turtle Boy.
I got to speed it up a little bit because,
arrested.
again, I don't want to overlap over Turtle Boy's live, so I'm going to speed it up a little, okay,
The same
guys?
mass state troopers he named as corrupt were the arresting officers.
Oh, my bad. Krusty's KDP. My bad. Sorry about that. Way worse than the coffin lady.
All units to stand by for orders.
Yeah, Coffin Offer's an idiot. Krusty's been after Turtle Boy for years. All right, I'll make it a point to look into old Kate Peters. We'll put a magnifying glass on old Kate Peters. See what she's all about.
Go.
Bro, look how dramatic this is. I love this.
We got him.
Like, just capturing how dirty it was to do this, like, in front of his kids.
Up here, please. Get his phones, computers, routers. Search the kids' rooms. Go through everything.
Don't waste my time with Kate Peters.
In a courthouse intentionally pre-packed with Aidan's opposition as to not allow room for his supporters to enter, Special Prosecutor Ken Mello began to outline the charges. As thousands of Turtle Boy supporters were watching the courthouse Zoom feed, one member of the public communicated what we were all thinking rather poetically. After dedicating weeks to meticulous research on the arrest and the purported statement of facts levied against Aidan Carney, by our estimation, it can be unequivocally asserted that the presented information is nothing short of total and utter bullshit.
It appears that in the past he has
Nice. Total and utter bullshit.
You'd be forgiven for mistaking this entire charade for a Monty Python sketch, which would be comical if not for a reporter's freedom at stake.
It appears in the past he's encouraged his followers to take various actions with respect to witnesses in this matter. We're asking that there be no harassment of witnesses or their families, no intimidation of witnesses or their family members. We're asking that he not on his blogs or otherwise encourage his blog followers
Shut up.
photograph witnesses,
Idiot.
their families, their homes, etc.
One of the tactics we see used over and over again by Ken Mello against Turtle Boy is he presents lies as fact. For example,
Right.
Aidan has never instructed his audience to take photographs of witnesses in public
Nope.
or visit their homes to ask questions.
Nope.
However, even if he did, there is absolutely nothing illegal about taking pictures in public spaces.
Also,
nor is knocking
nope.
on doors in a residential neighborhood to ask a question. If it were, the Girl Scouts of America would be featured on America's Most Wanted. The notion that Aidan is responsible for a lawful action carried out by an entirely unknown individual with no direction
This
from
is
him
fucking
laughable
fantastic.
and undermines the credibility of this judicial institution. A Freudian slip is an unintentional error in speech that reveals unconscious thoughts or feelings.
Bro, look at this guy.
And Ken Mello is about to reveal what's been dominating his thoughts as of late.
As Your Honor will hear from the evidence presented by the Commonwealth's argument, the defendant has shown up at sports games.
I'm sorry, Ken, but who has shown up at sports games?
Defendant
has shown up at sports games.
Did you say the Fed? Did you mean the defendant? It is a documented fact that an FBI
Bob Brown,
investigation is
stop
currently
it.
underway in the Karen Reed case. The specific individuals under scrutiny remain uncertain.
That's the last thing
Nonetheless,
Karen
a
Reed
special
Reed
prosecutor
needs.
pressing baseless charges designed to suppress an independent journalist could be a likely target. In Ken's defense, I'd likely be having intrusive thoughts about federal officials too.
Attended or that were being engaged in by children of witnesses and has made scenes there using loudspeakers, etc.
This is a lie. Turtle Boy
It's a
never
total
employed a
lie.
loudspeaker at any sports games. In fact, even using the plural sports games is a lie in itself. Aidan attended a single lacrosse game with a news cameraman to ask a witness a few questions.
See, that's what blows my fucking mind, dude. It blows my mind that these people can say this shit straight up, right to a judge's face, with no evidence to prove it when the burden of proof is absolutely on this dickhead to prove it. Like, how do you have the fucking pelotas to stand there in front of a judge and go, this happened, this happened, this happened, when it clearly didn't happen, and the burden of proof is on you to actually present this evidence and prove your accusations? It's mind-blowing to me. It's fucking mind-blowing, dude.
Turtle Boy's detractors often cite this event as him going too far, and it's anyone's right to hold that opinion. But remember, this is a legal setting, and even if a journalist following a story into the stands of a lacrosse game is something you yourself disagree with, it doesn't make it illegal. In fact, despite what you may have heard about the horror and fear of this interaction, it begins with this.
Hey, Matt, how you doing, pal? Good, how are you doing? How you doing? Hey, Jen, how you doing? Fancy seeing you here. How are you? All right. So how did court go the other day?
Great. Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
Some things to notice. Aiden calmly approaches Matt with a warm greeting and a handshake. Then Matt reciprocates, saying, "Hey, tough guy, how you been?" Aiden says to Jen, "Fancy seeing you here." Jen responds, "I know. Amazing." Aiden then asks, "How did court go the other day?" To which Matt answers, "Great." Jen and Matt are both smiling, and no one involved seems particularly intimidated. Jen and Matt are entertaining questions from Aiden, which is a signal for him to continue. But none of the words exchanged between the McCabe's and Aiden are as important as what remains unsaid. At no point in the interaction do we hear Matt or Jen say anything resembling, "Please leave us alone." Later, we do have unknown third parties asking Aiden and Richie to please leave, but that's not the same as Matt or Jen saying it. Now is an opportunity.
See, that's very important to keep into consideration, folks, because the charges are witness intimidation, harassment, right? But where is any indication? This interaction is listed in the charges, in Turtle Boy's charges. Where's the interaction? Where's the negative reaction, the fear? Where's that coming from Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe? Where is this? If anything, Matt McCabe was attempting to be intimidating towards Turtle Boy. Now, when I had Turtle Boy up here, he was abundantly clear that there was nothing intimidating to him about Matt McCabe. Whereas I still, okay, folks, I'm still not letting go of the possibility of him as a suspect. I do believe, Patricia, thank you so much. That was very generous. I appreciate that. I got the Venmo notification. I noticed it. I did not get, I'm still, listen, I'm not convinced that this dude is, I still say that Matt McCabe has motive. I'm not saying, Turtle Boy's convinced. Turtle Boy was like, nah, dude. Like, if you fucking met this guy, you'd be like, this dude does not have it in him to fucking kill anybody. But I still say he has motive. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he did it, but I still say he has motive. That's all I'm saying.
Tune moment to underscore a crucial aspect of Aiden's character. He's well versed in the intricacies of the law and how it applies to his journalism. He certainly doesn't want to get arrested for going too far. What if he was specifically waiting for Jen or Matt to ask him to stop? That would have been a clear signal directly from the interviewee that no answers would be forthcoming. However, after closely reviewing the footage multiple times, that statement is nowhere to be found. Let's continue reviewing the tape together and see if we can pinpoint exactly when this became an illegal activity.
I do. So I'm trying to watch. No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want. So anyway, Jen, I have a question. Did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed?
Y'all are killing me, bro.
Notice here that Aiden is standing at least 4 feet away from Jen. He's by no means
bro, I
in the face.
fucking love you
Instead of saying no
Massachusetts
comment,
people,
or
bro.
I'm
Y'all are
scared,
killing me.
She chuckles through a large grin, which can be interpreted as her responding to his question, meaning she is willingly engaging in conversation.
Do you think that's funny? How long did I in cold? What is this gentleman doing? Look at that, the ring face.
Here, Matt appears to be the first and only person to get physical by pushing Aiden.
Yeah,
But you can
like
easily
he all
see
got
he
up in
delights
his
Jen.
fucking grill, bro.
If she isn't finding this interaction enjoyable, her expressions and behavior certainly suggest otherwise.
Hey, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen to your family when you go to jail?
Don't touch me.
Why are you shaking,
Touch
dude?
me again.
Why are you
Touch me
shaking?
again. Touch me
So,
again.
Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when your kids go to jail?
Touch me again.
When you go to jail, I apologize.
Touch me
To
again.
your children.
Aiden misspeaks, and upon realizing it, issues an apology to the children. And although Matt seems to be the one invading Aiden's personal space, Matt implies something will happen if Aiden touches him again. It's crucial to highlight the significant size differential between Aiden and Matt. Aiden, standing at 5 foot 8.5 inches with a medium athletic build, is notably smaller in comparison, whereas Matt appears substantially larger, almost like a giant standing beside him.
Are you worried at all about that? Huh? What's going on here?
Oh, you're so fast.
What are we doing here?
I'm sure you were.
Jen, did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Yes or no? Did you? Why did you?
We see here that despite a barrage of insults and taunting from Matt, Aiden continues
Bro, how
to
do you
seek
not
answers
love
to the
Turtle
questions
Boy,
he has
bro?
about the Karen Reed case. McCabe's still showing no signs of fear, and it seems Matt is the only source of intimidation directed towards Aiden. However, most surprisingly, is there still no vocalized request to end the interview from Matt or Jen. If only we had a neutral third party to serve as witnesses who could tell us if, by their perception, Aiden was out of control. These two Bill Rickerfield officials, completely unaware
Y'all
of
are
the Karen
killing
Reed
me,
case and
bro.
unfamiliar with Turtle Boy or the McCabe's, arrived to the scene after being summoned by a Canadian police.
Bro, that's killing me
They
right
think
now.
Richie is Turtle Boy.
Jen McCabe. Let me show you something. I remember that shit clearly, bro. Oh my god, y'all are killing me, bro. Y'all are killing me.
Oh boy, here we
See
go.
the blocking hit. Like, no, dude, it's me. It's actually me.
I'm about 5'8"3/4. How much do you weigh? You're very thin. Yeah, you look sharp the other day in court. You look great.
They are entirely unaware that Aiden is the individual they've been instructed to remove, instead singling out Richie, who, incidentally, rarely speaks unless spoken to as the apparent source of the disruption. From their actions, it can be deduced that Aiden's behavior gave the impression that he himself was a member of the McCabe party and did not pose a hostile threat. Richie leaves the area once directly asked by the officials, and waits for Aiden at field level. Matt seems to be more relaxed now, and Aiden's banter with him could be characterized as light-hearted teasing. Claiming this is harassment or intimidation, as Ken Mello has done in open court in front of a judge, would be factually incorrect and intentionally misleading.
Yeah, he's
These
not.
two frames
There's
extracted from
nothing.
Aiden's video during the peak of the interaction clearly reveal that none of the other spectators present at the game appeared to take notice of the incident.
Right.
This dispels any misinformation suggesting that the game was disrupted or that a scene was created.
Clearly dispels it.
After a few more minutes of speaking with the Bill Rickerfield officials who had no idea what this was all about, Aiden himself ends the interview and leaves.
Okay, we'll give it a wrap. But I just thought I'd stop by and have a great night. We'll see you soon, Jen. How long to die in cold? Maybe you can answer that question for me. We'll find out later.
Let us remind you that Jen had applied for a restraining order against Aiden just a week prior and was denied. The judge
Denied.
But I would need to find, by a preponderance of the evidence, a substantial likelihood of the immediate danger of abuse as defined by the law. Because of the free speech issues and his status in the press, I'm just not getting there.
It appears likely that the prosecution chose to silence Aiden by consolidating all his legal activities under the guise of witness intimidation, then amplifying them through out-of-context excerpts
Y'all
and
are
outright
killing me,
falsehoods.
dude. I love it.
However, for any of Aiden's actions to qualify as
Bostonian
felony
now.
witness
Thank you so
intimidation
much.
in Massachusetts,
I'm glad you're here.
3 factors are required. 1, that the defendant, either directly or indirectly, made a threat or attempted to coerce another person. With the exception of Matt daring Aiden to touch him again, we heard no threats or coercion from either party. 2, the other person was a witness, juror, or law enforcement official at any stage of a criminal investigation, trial, or other criminal proceeding. Since the McCabes are witnesses in the Karen Reed case, this factor is met. 3, the defendant did so willfully with the specific intent to impede, obstruct, delay, harm, punish, or otherwise interfere with the criminal proceeding. After seeing for yourself, did you get the impression Aiden intended to intimidate the McCabes to dissuade them from testifying, or from providing truthful testimony in the upcoming Karen Reed trial? If you answered no, then it's simply not witness intimidation. And let us plant a flag here regarding specific intent. We'll come back to unpack that shortly.
For 1977,
Held the employee at gunpoint while demanding.
Hold up to 650 pounds of pizza, with or without pepperoni.
the FBI. I should be authorized to be here.
Oh shit. Staying alive. Do you know Sylvester Stallone directed that movie? A sequel to Saturday Night Fever?
It's worth reviewing a few aspects of this unprecedented statement by Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey, which took place on August 25th, 2023. The lacrosse game, rolling rally, and other protests had already taken place by this point. It's filled with provably false statements and bias against Karen Reed as a defendant, including some easily rebutted assertions
I'm thinking about it,
people and
Beach
events that
Life.
transpired the night John was murdered.
That's
He
the
scolds
goal.
the general public for drawing definitive conclusions about the case before trial. However, what's most ironic is that the district attorney seems to be completely unaware of the fact that this is exactly what he himself is doing, by making one-sided comments about a case when, as a matter of ethics, he should not. But again, what's most interesting is what he doesn't say. Let's listen carefully to the district attorney's next statement.
To have them accused of murder is outrageous. To have them harassed and intimidated based on false narratives and accusations is wrong.
To have them accused of murder is outrageous, and to have them harassed based on what he perceives as false narratives is wrong. But he doesn't say anything that's happened up until this point has broken the law. If the rolling rally was so clearly a demonstration of widespread felony witness intimidation involving literally hundreds of suspects, does he not have a responsibility to communicate that to the public?
Yeah, Titty Chin.
We learned from the charging documents against Aiden that cameras were placed in several of the locations where the protest was scheduled to occur. We also know that the Canton PD and the Mars State Police had absolutely no visible presence at any of those locations on that day.
You're like killing me.
With the safety of the witnesses and their neighbors could they have been, when they seemed far more interested in using them as bait to gather video evidence against Aiden. Moreover, if merely urging someone to speak truthfully becomes a punishable offense, then the simple act of placing a witness under oath and telling them to tell nothing but the truth must also be equally placed in that category. Any Catholic priests taking confessional, who are caught saying the truth will set you free, are also vulnerable to being charged and may have a brand new scandal to deal with.
They are witnesses doing what our justice system asks of them.
Yes, they are. And all that's been asked of them by Turtle Boy or anyone else has been for them to be honest, which doesn't meet the criteria to be classified as witness intimidation, because it doesn't carry with it the malicious specific intent to interfere with legal proceedings.
Very important to remember. How is it harassment and how is it intimidation if you're simply asking these people to tell the truth? Every time you confront them, every time you knock on their door or see them at a lacrosse game or whatever the fuck, or at a goddamn pizza joint, like asking you to tell the truth cannot be considered harassment. It cannot be considered intimidation. Hey, you know something. Why don't you say something? Do you not want justice for a fellow police officer? What the fuck is the problem here? That is not harassment.
Perhaps the biggest issue looming over the Commonwealth is their complete lack of credibility, which is perfectly demonstrated in the next statement.
In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested, Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of this investigation.
Bro, that's coming straight from the DA's face. His fucking titty-chinned face is sitting here talking about how Trooper Proctor had no personal connection to any of the witnesses. Hear that one more time.
Specific intent to interfere with legal proceedings. Perhaps the biggest issue looming over the Commonwealth is their complete lack of credibility, which is perfectly demonstrated in the next statement.
In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested, Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict.
Okay. Now that's very important. And Microdots makes an excellent point coming up right here. Pay attention, folks, as to what, because the whole point is whether or not there was motive to plant evidence, right? The motive would be that he had a personal relationship with the people at 34 Fairview Road. Michael Proctor, the lead investigator.
And he had no reason to step out of this investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie.
Here the DA is suggesting Trooper Proctor had no motive because he had no close personal relationship with any of the parties. But it's been well established through Turtle Boy's reporting that the Alberts are like a second family to the Proctors.
Boom.
Therefore, according to the DA's logic, the motive for a cover-up does in fact exist. At the cost of their own credibility, the Commonwealth simply refuses to acknowledge the close personal relationship between the lead investigator and the family at the center of this case. If he so vehemently denies such an obvious fact, how can we trust any of his accusations against Turtle Boy?
Right.
Morrissey's statement was widely criticized for its possible ethics violations, for he seemed to be trying to convince the public that there is no reason to think the defendant is anything but guilty. man who's been serving in official government positions since 1977 really should know better than to presume a defendant is guilty before she receives her day in court. So when the top law enforcement official in the county is commenting on the peaceful protests occurring in this case and has the perfect opportunity to make everyone aware that what they're doing is illegal, what words does he choose to end with?
But the message is the same. What is happening to these innocent people, these witnesses, is wrong and it needs to stop.
A reasonable person's takeaway from Michael Morrissey's full statement is this: he doesn't like it or agree with it, which is his opinion. He doesn't want it to continue, but there's no indication that by continuing to exercise one's constitutional right to protest, they are breaking the law.
I'm not going to kick your ass. I don't need to do that. I'm more dangerous with my words because I'm so good at finding evidence and exposing people. And that's not a threat. It's a beautiful day for some peaceful protesting. We're not hurt anybody.
Yeah, I know. Howie Carr was, that article was fantastic.
Peacefully protest. I'm a award-winning journalist. I can come to your home and ask you questions if that's what the media does. Be above them, be better than them. That's not a threat. It's investigative journalism we're doing here, folks. I don't know, you guys. Parking lot and be respectful. Be peaceful no matter what they say. Stay respectful. We are peacefully protesting. We're going to be protesting peacefully outside of his house. You got to be the bigger person, always. We're here to peacefully protest no matter what they say. I'm not going to kick your ass. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. So we are peacefully protesting. Try to stay off people's property. There'll be no rioting, no looting, nothing like that. Just a peaceful protest. We are to peacefully protest. We're going to be respectful. We're not going to trespass. We're not going to step on the property. The harassment of witnesses is baseless. We're not harassing any witnesses. So what we're going to do now, if you want to peacefully protest, you be peaceful about it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's not a threat. I'm an award-winning journalist. I'm just there to ask some questions. You have a right to do that. The other side is going to try to instigate and bring people there with the intention of provoking an incident. They want our side to seem unhinged and violent.
This has been declared an unlawfully. All persons must immediately leave the area and travel to the west.
You cannot control yourself. If you cannot control your temper, then don't come tomorrow. You're not welcome. I don't want any tough guys there tomorrow. We must be better than them. The most effective way to affect public opinion in the face of evil is to not respond with more evil. Threatening anyone. None of you is a threat. No one else is a threat on anyone. Yet they're treating you like animals.
An event that I believe, under statute 268-13A, could most possibly be deemed a criminal act.
Nothing is stopping you from coming forward and telling the police what happened. You can avoid jail if you want, but you're not having to. It's not an option to remain silent. You might as well tell the truth. Let the world know what happened. Nothing is stopping you from telling the truth, from saving yourself. You know what happened that night. You know why John's body was on that line. You know why he had that huge laceration in the back of his head. You know that he was bleeding out.
Without including the allegation of witness intimidation, none of the claims listed in the charging documents are by themselves unlawful. Now, we will shift our focus to a singular, overarching truth that exonerates Aiden and renders that allegation baseless as well. We will propose that Turtle Boy simply never committed witness intimidation.
I agree.
In order to assert that argument, we first need to demonstrate what real witness intimidation entails. The following is a fictional yet plausible scenario that has been crafted specifically for this illustrative purpose. The star witness is the store clerk, who was able to identify the defendant as a former employee by recognizing a small scar above his left eye. The apprehension of the defendant, who possesses an extensive criminal record, occurred at his home 2 days after the robbery. The other 2 men were never caught. The 3 got back into a stolen vehicle, and a police chase ensued. The assailants escaped by driving directly into the pursuing police car. 5 days after the arrest, the defendant's father shows up at the home of the store clerk. He became aggressive, threatening to assault the witness on the day of the trial if they showed up to testify against his son. Although the spectrum is wide and vague, all credible instances of witness intimidation adhere to the following consistent pattern. A witness is prepared to testify against a defendant, contributing to the pursuit of truth and justice. Subsequently, a third party, often a friend or relative of the defendant, tries to interfere with malicious intent, specifically to obstruct justice. However, in Aidan's case, you have the 8 witnesses, none of whom even saw Karen commit a crime, who are prepared to testify at the retrial. And then you have Aidan, who Karen Reed was unknown to before his reporting on the story, and whose public message in parallel to the trial is for all parties to testify truthfully about what they experienced that night. Meaning he has no malicious, specific intent to obstruct justice. And that can mean only one thing. Aidan Carney never committed the crime of witness intimidation. None of the words he's spoken or articles he's written ever carried with them the intent to purposefully subvert the justice system through intimidation or coercion of a witness. The entire case against him appears to be a complete fabrication, orchestrated by prosecutors desperate to silence the journalist exposing their purported misconduct and alleged cover-up of the murder of a Boston police officer.
Katie, are you okay?
Oh, thank you, Bob Brown. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you. Bob Brown, yes, I just read your message. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Wow, that means a lot, man. You guys are too awesome, man. Seriously, all you guys. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't show the whole thing, but it says, Blair, you were fucking amazing last night with your questions over the 911 call. The Young Jerks is replaying you, but it doesn't say anything else. It doesn't complete, but that's all it shows. But thank you, man. That means a lot. Let me see if there's Patricia. That was really, really generous. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting Karen Reed, Aidan Carney, and the Canton 9, Patty Murphy. Absolutely. That brings me to another point. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. I want to make sure that I get all of the cash support messages from you guys. Yeah, that's all of them right there. That means a lot. Thank you guys. Now 3 hours ago, an article was posted saying that from WCVB Channel 5 ABC in Boston that Turtle Boy could be facing additional conspiracy charges. And it's all it says. And I know I'm mispronouncing Staten. Staten. Is it Staten or Staten? I don't know. You guys laugh at me whenever I try to pronounce that, but but it says here that a special prosecutor told the judge that Turtle Boy will face additional charges of conspiracy. I don't know what that's based on, but if I had to guess what they're saying, Stoughton, thank you. Stoughton, right? Stoughton. Okay. Stoughton. No, all seriousness. If I had to guess, I think that they're trying to slap more charges onto the Canton 9 and try to tie him into those unfortunate brave souls who were protesting and caught charges for harassment and intimidation just the other day. So they're probably trying to lump them up and try to slap conspiracy charges on them as well as Turtle Boy. If I had to guess, I really don't know, but if I had to guess, that's the grand goal. Stoughton. Okay, like stowaway. Stoughton. You guys got to understand, when you say S-T-O-W-T, it looks like stout. Stout. It totally looks like stout. Everyone in the Jerks is cheering me in on the stream. That's awesome, man. Right on. That's really, really nice, man. Like, I don't even know how to handle that. I really don't. I swear, guys, I'm just doing this because I'm passionate about it. And mostly, I'm going to close with this and say that mostly the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I'm inspired by you locals there. Those of you that are in Massachusetts, that's inspiring. How passionate you guys are about justice in your town is incredibly inspiring, and it makes me want to keep going and fight by your side. And I'm going to continue to talk about this. I'm going to continue to use my platform to help spread information on this and express my opinions on this. So it's you guys, seriously. This is all about you guys. This is all about the people of Canton and the people of Massachusetts surrounding Canton. You guys are incredibly inspiring to me. Oh my goodness. Hold up.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got.
Mad Catter. Fuck your PayPal for international folk. Guess you will have to take the cut. Love you, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, it's YouTube, man. I've played in bands, and the way that works is you got to pay the house. I don't mind YouTube taking their cut. I have no problem with that. So thank you so much, Mad Catter. I appreciate it. Guys, I meant every word I said. All of you guys, whether you're in Massachusetts or not, thank you for being here. But especially those of you guys that are in Massachusetts and are passionate about what's going on in your community. I want to do everything that I can on my end. So I'm definitely not backing out, and you guys are definitely inspiring me to keep going. So I'm going to continue to do that. So you guys are fantastic. And to all of you, whether you're in Massachusetts or not, I love you very much. And don't forget, Turtle Boy is going live right now to explain after his court date and explain his perspective on those things. And I think he's going to go over that 911 call. So, guys, I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.